Hello YouTubers, this is Describe and thank you for watching this YouTube video. So I want to talk about why a new version of yourself, or the more creative and best version you can come up with at the time, is always a very difficult and complicated process where you go backwards as well as going forwards, so it's not linear. It's not like you just make constant progress towards your goal. And one of the reasons for this is just it really is complicated. So if you want to get in shape, it takes time. It takes like 6, 10, a year, maybe 2 years to do that. Maybe even up to 5 years if you're looking to build muscle and get into a certain shape. And all the time you're also having to fight your lifestyle, which tends to get in the way. So your diet. I mean, I need to start doing something because I'm getting older too. And because of that, you're also developing new skills. So if you do swimming, you're developing a skill how to swim. If you're doing badminton, you're learning a new skill. You're complicating your life in a way where the complications lead to sometimes obsessions. So you may decide to start running, and then you watch a number of videos and you spend a lot of money on gym apparel and clothing and shoes that would be more suitable for running, while neglecting other areas of your life. And all this process takes time. And your diet and what you're actually doing to eat, and your lifestyle, where you live, how you actually live, all this stuff has either positive or negative effects on your life. This is why I say you always should have artwork on your wall. I mean, the young teenagers of the past understood this. They used to have posters. I would say, buy artwork, which I'm, in the process of doing with some of the people who make some really good ones that I'm currently unable to make myself. So developing skills is also a problem as well, and this takes time. And because of this, while you're doing this, you find that you can't just say if you want to lose like 10 stone, let's just go into the extreme of things, right? Not only are you losing weight, but you're turning into a completely different person, right? And because of this, you have to negate life in a way that is not the way you used to do. You have to understand what got you into that position in the first place, and now you have to gravitate to a way that would actually get you into this position. And it might be that the way you live, the way you sleep, I mean, I say sleep like a king if you can. Get proper bedding and stuff like that. Get a proper bed, actually sleep properly. Like they did in the Victorian, like a Victorian king or something, like with the wooden pillars across the bed, and like little curtains and stuff like that. Proper velvet bed. You need to make sure, if you want to change your life, you need to make sure you actually live a life that's going to direct you into this path. If you are still doing exactly what you were doing before, you never go get there. Now, this is why it gets slow, right? Because quite often you find when you make progress in one area, you kind of go backwards in another area, right? So at first, when I started to do swimming, I found that I was getting so tired that I needed to sleep a lot, right? And this meant I wasn't looking after my diet, right? Because I didn't have the energy to cook, and I was being a bit more lazy and eating a bit more. I was currently doing that. And because of this, I now realise, or I've realised for quite some time, that you also need to make sure you have a stocked up fridge, a stocked up cupboard with all the best food you can have, and learn to cook, right? Because these skills are important for the direction of where you want to head to. And this is really going out to people who, they're in a bad state, and they have this problem. I mean, believe me, I had like 4 or 5 stone to lose at one point. I'm like 6'4", so I'm not, even then I'm not looking big, but it does have a negative effect when you actually have need to get in shape, and it takes time to do. You're kind of going down very, very slowly, and because of this, you have more time than you realise, and you're not just doing one task, right? You're doing what they call metamorphosis, and I've explained this in another video somewhere, where when you changed who you are, you're making a metamorphosis of yourself. You will not be. Believe me, if you guys have got like a lot of weight to lose, or you want to build yourself up, maybe like put muscle on, or turn yourself into a millionaire, whatever it is where you're going, right? You won't be the same person you were a year ago if you make standard process every single day, progress every single day in that area, because you will be a different person by the time that process is ended. So when you get, let's say, when you are like 30 stone and you end up 12 stone as a man, you get a surgery to move the loose skin and stuff like that, you won't be the same person after you lose that weight. You won't. Things will change for you. Everything will go in a different direction. You will not be who you were before, right? And that's something that they don't mention, right? When they're going along with these, this path, they just say, oh, it's just losing weight, just carries out, carries in, carries out, right? Yes, it is, right? Sort of, but it's more complicated than that, because you've got to get into your head who you are as a person, right? And in some ways I'm making this video as a form of therapy for myself, for my future self as well. So I'm like, I'm kind of heading in a certain direction myself. But I wish people the best in this area, because I know how hard they actually struggle, and how your life can change once you get to the point you want to be. So yeah, right. Continue to diet and stuff like that, but also change the way you live. Right? I mean, I'm kind of in the process of changing the place where I live. So I've got a new fish tank, I've got art on the wall, I'm redecorating to make sure that it's suitable for where it would actually inspire me. Because if you live in a grey box, let's say, where your ceiling and your walls are painted black, and you got no carpet on, you call it a roof over your head. That's one of the biggest lies that's going around. A roof over your head. You can't be creative if you're struggling, right? They don't mention that, but you as a person, you can't be creative if you are struggling as a person, because you don't have the energy to be the strongest version of yourself, which I think is a very, very bad combination of words, by the way. I would call it the most creative and the most useful and the most inspiring version of yourself, where you make yourself feel good, right? You can't be that if you're living in a shithole. Think about that, right? I'm putting that out. You can't be the best version of yourself, the true person you want to be, if you live in a fucking shithole. It's just one of those things, right? I know I say that, but do I live in a shithole? Not anymore. So I do my best to make things interesting. I mean, I've got art on the wall. I buy artwork from some art galleries when I can, because I think it inspires me to be a better person. And I mean, I know in the past I've been a different person before, but these days I'm getting a bit older, I'm getting close to middle age, and because of that, I'm wishing to change myself in a way that I want to. And I think you guys, have directions you want to go yourself. So you're not useless. I mean, you have to be who you want to be. It's simple as. And what is it you want to be? Ask yourself clearly. Who do you want to be, really? I'm not talking about what career you want to be in. I mean, who do you want to be? Ask yourself that question. Goodbye for now. See you later.